Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck? Happenings in Mendham and such. This part of in Mendham. Should have included that maybe. Anyway, another week. So, yes, I fought with the nihilists some more, blah blah blah. People don't really like that, but too bad. Argued with, these petty idiots, and, everybody's just an idiot. It's just so difficult to do any of this internet work in any kind of effective or useful way. There was this troll. This has been a persistent troll. He goes by a couple of different names: Anti-Natalist 90 and Wise Madness. And I have had him blocked on, I think, both my channels for rudeness. And just a persistent asshole. And he just. Finally, I think he's got the clue. I don't give a shit about you. You're an obnoxious asshole. And, you can just fuck off somewhere and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever your causes are, do them without me. Yeah, please. But anyway, everything is just so distant from any kind of system where you can just, you put your 75 cents in the vending machine and you get your cup of coffee. Nothing's even close to this. Just nothing works here in terms of any kind of reasoning or process, and everything has to be done in some sort of idiotic way. It's like giving women flowers or something. It's just, do I really have to waste money on stupid flowers? Are you that impractical, you silly bitch? I mean, really, can't I give you a nice shiny hammer or a pair of pliers or something useful? Do I have to give you something that's just a colossal waste of money? Anyway. Yeah. Life is like women. It doesn't make any sense. It's politically incorrect, Gary. Anyway. Thank you for this beautiful reply. You basically confirmed everything I said. Well, I obviously didn't. I made the counter-argument that you're just a naggy butthole who has done nothing, and backseat driving me makes absolutely no sense. Why don't you backseat drive somebody else who gives a shit about writing books or doing what you think is the thing to do, the thing that'll matter? You just don't grasp the situation. Probably for the same reason you don't grasp how posting naked on camera, posing, is really, really terrible idea for your brand. Well, I don't know. I didn't know I had a brand, and doesn't matter. I mean, it's part of what my statement is this is all we are. We're just crude biological organisms, and there's all these fake facades that keep people from seeing that and recognizing that it is just evolution, that the average brain has absolute shit turning in it. And if there was if we had a Manhattan Project, which I just love, and if the government's going to spend some money, they should spend $1 billion to try to develop a really good lie detector. Because, people are absolutely full of fucking shit. And it'd be great to just have that spilt out into the fresh air of the truth, and for everybody just to see what a little conniving weasel human beings are. That they're all just little conniving weasels. And they just don't have any integrity, and so they don't admit they're conniving weasels. You must be autistic, buddy. You must be a jackass, dude. Boy. Go right ahead and pointlessly waste another decade of your life. Okay, so he's saying the last 10 years of YouTube have been a waste of my life. Okay, you can make that argument. I think I've made, in all the videos I've made, and in the process of making them, and in the thoughts that have gone into them, and all of that, it's not a nothing. It's a something. Now, maybe it's not going to mean anything to people like you, because the argument doesn't mean anything to people like you. You're just somebody who wants to join a cause, apparently, and follow somebody. Well, go do that somewhere else. Anyway. Have your life on holidays of this world, because you clearly don't aspire higher than that. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's the argument that I'm arguing with, and clearly it's an argument that is persuasive. If you look at the rating numbers on Anaconda videos, and Piro videos and half a day, you'll see that their ratings are better than my ratings on videos, because people like these nihilist arguments. They like arguments that relieve them of responsibility and make them think there's something worthy of preservation in the human function. And so countering that nonsense with the "it's about evolution" shitheads, we're just fancy bugs with fancier schemes, and that's all. But there's the basic mechanism is, feed me or I'll kill you. Yes, you do value these trolls more because you allocate a ton of time on indulging them. Well, it's really not, if you look at all my videos, as a percentage. And again, the argument has to be made. The worst, as bad as religion is, the second worst cause to fight against are the glibest nihilist types who diminish the meaning of the suffering of all their victims. Of course it's their victims. Their suffering's important, but their victims, nah, not so much. I merely ask for the most minimal participation from you. I have participated in lots of ways, and again, why are you asking me something from me? I don't ask anything from you. Do I? Do I send you PM saying you got to do this and you got to do that? No. You haven't been doing enough? You're not doing it right? You haven't done any of that? No. You do what you can. If you can't, you don't do anything. I'm just saying, I either inspire somebody to do something or not. But why do I have to be obedient to you? I'm not your servant, fuckhead. And you couldn't even be arsed to type a few words, so yeah. Well, I know what words you want me to type. You want me to type the words, "Hey, butthead, you're not my mommy. Fuck you. You're my mother. I tell you, go fuck yourself." I'm done with that. I'm done taking orders, fucker. Anyway, I don't see how you deserve my time. I don't want your time. I don't know how many ways I could block you from my channel. I think that's kind of saying, I don't want your time. I don't want your participation. Go join something else. Go harass someone else. I'm not interested in your critiques. They're not meaningful or useful. They don't inspire me. You're not musing me into better performance. You're just being an irritant and a pain in the ass. If even you, the author, again, author of what? Oh, it's about evolution, stupid. Oh, gee, yeah, give me a Nobel Prize for that. That's just so hard to figure out. Obviously, this isn't about authoring something. It's merely about pointing out that here's our dilemma. Okay, we got these religious kooks, and then we got these glib kooks, and it's all the kookery is about one kind of thing, which is really aggrandizing the story of life on Earth. And that's not that complicated. I don't claim ownership. So, yeah, take any part of what I've said, take anything I've said, and do whatever you want with it. I don't give a shit. Don't give a fuck about this philosophy being written down. Well, this is the way you can write things permanently now, is in videos. It's not like 300 years ago. There's been all kinds of progress in technology. I don't know whether you've noticed that. But Google can even transcribe videos. They don't do it very well, but they do it. And that technology is only get better with time. So in a sense, all this is written down, or will be in the future. So, fuck you. And taken seriously. Again, taken seriously by who? The masses aren't going to read this stupid book you're thinking is going to be a bestseller. The bestseller that basically tells people you're fundamentally an asshole, and the best thing you could do is probably kill yourself for the welfare of sentient life on planet Earth. Oh yeah, people are going to love to read that book. If even you, the author, don't give a fuck about this philosophy to take seriously, but let's see, for which it has to be written down, otherwise none will care. So again, he thinks that documentary films are absolutely useless, completely unpersuasive, they don't mean anything, never changes anybody's mind, doesn't do a damn thing. It's only books that change people's mind. No, I think that's just idiotic, plainly. Why would I bother to persevere through your resistance? Persevere through your resistance. Again, how am I resisting? I've set up the page for posting the transcripts. I've got my own notes that I want to work on. You're just saying, devote all my time to it and do it right now, because I say so. I will dictate the progression of your existence. And you have absolutely no appreciation for how hard it has been for 10 years to argue these arguments. That to argue them effectively, you really have to live in them. You have to actually think about it all the time. And you don't want to sit there and say, thanks, nothing. You just want to insult me. I mean, how is this rational, you fucking cunt? So yeah, write your own goddamn book. Maybe I will. Maybe somebody else will. The point is, your first premise argument that the goddamn book is going to mean something, or even get published, is your fantasy. I don't see any way that's going to happen. No one's going to publicize it or try to sell it or do any of that kind of crap. And the only way it could really work is if, yeah, you get on mass media somehow. Very little chance of all that. If you don't, then, well, fuck it. So again, that's his attitude. He could do anything he wants here. I'm not limiting your ability to take any of my words, do anything you want with them. You just want me to do it. And that's all. That's all you're saying here. You do it, Gary. I want to watch a movie. You're not. I work 7,000 hours a week, or whatever he says he works. No evidence of any of this. Okay. And I said, who want to volunteer? I don't even know what that means. Learn to read, dumbass. We'll learn to type a sentence. Who want to volunteer? I don't even know what that means. So just, okay, post a comment that just points out that you're really insane, aren't you? Okay, and I sent another comment. You can't edit his comments. There's an edit button right there. And you claim I haven't written word one, which is preposterous lie. Fuck you. I can't believe I even bothered with you in the first place. Well, where did you write? Where did you create your own content? I don't know. I mean, you're saying I should keep track of somebody who has more than one account by different names, and I should figure out who did what where. I'm supposed to keep track of all that stuff while I do all this other shit. Yeah, fuck you. All your useless videos will fade into even more obscure obscurity. So it's just more of these claims that aren't really realistic. I mean, I should go to the channel page. Maybe I can do that. I mean, half my views are for the videos I've made in the past. It's the way it works. I mean, I'm still getting just as many subscribers, right? Without making new videos, I actually get the same number of subscribers every month. So the number of new subscriptions hasn't changed, even though I'm not making new videos. And it will be your fucking fault, and it will be well-deserved, and you ungrateful motherfucker. So I'm the ungrateful one. Yes, yeah, sorry. I do this for 10 years, and I'm not expecting anything. I don't put ads on anything. I don't do, and somehow I have done something evil. I'm doing something wrong because I'm not doing what he thinks I should do. I'm not doing it his way. Why? Zemindum is right. Even if you hate his attitude, you shouldn't stop from wanting to spread awareness of the philosophy. Well, that's if he was rational and actually gave a shit about the philosophy. So anyway, this is, what is this? Ethological. That's a good name for a channel anyway. I will attempt to check it out. Okay, and so then look how rude he is just to this guy. Why are you posting your opinion on something you know nothing about? Well, maybe not nothing, but you definitely don't understand what's going on here because you don't have all the information and context of our history. And I don't have the context of our history. So again, I don't understand. Why are you so butthurt? Are you the same asshole who kept posting comments because you don't like nudity, right? So you have some sort of, you're a prude or something, and you're obsessed about that subject. So who are you? What is the context? The context is on my Draft Science channel. You got yourself blocked. You get yourself blocked wherever you go because you're a rude cunt. That's the context. That's the only context I know. And the way this fucker presented the situation, and me in particular, in the video is dishonest and inaccurate. Well, go ahead and demonstrate that. Quote some inaccuracy in the fucking video. I don't know you from shit, fucker. I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know why the fuck you think I should have to pay attention to you. Why are you so fucking important? Why is your opinion of what I should do something I must be obedient to? Oh, fuck. So, yeah, I don't really need your input. I don't need your input. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, so, yeah, I don't really need your input. I don't need yours, cunt. So, anyway, so this ethological guy is obviously kind of a B personality because he's true. I don't know all the details, and I totally agree with you that the current presentation of all this stuff isn't set up for spreading it to the mainstream at all. I get the frustration. So you actually had an expectation that somebody who looks like me and talks like me was going to somehow be mainstream. Like you can't go back to the original video I posted on YouTube, right? My first video is me doing the voice of a talking can. Oh, yeah, that's right, a talking can. And you think that's going to go mainstream. You think I'm mainstream material. Fuck. Gee, you're really dumb. But, and now he says, but. But, that being said, I really enjoy the content for people like Gary and Amanda, and that is unedited and real, with taboo subjects and swearing, etc. Well, you just said the opposite before. Oh, it's frustrating, it's not mainstream. Oh, but I like it not being mainstream. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying, if somebody wants to do this shit, there's absolutely nothing stopping anyone from compiling information and writing a book. Absolutely nothing. And I facilitated that process by soliciting transcripts of videos. So that makes it even easier, right? So exactly, this isn't about me not doing anything. It's about me not doing it. Like the focus of my entire existence should still be this subject. When I explained why, right at the moment, I'm a little distracted by some other subjects. But I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to exercise my judgment about what at this particular moment might be a better investment in my time, because right now I'm not going to be mainstream. And right now I could probably make 1,000 more videos on the subject of antinatalism and get absolutely nowhere. I did a Vloggerdome show, right? We did these interviews with people and all this shit. Nothing happened. Okay? No, not even extra views. Less views than usual views. So the harder you work on making it a presentation, the more it's ignorable, ironically. So fuck you. Oh, I just hate these people. I think I do. I think I do hate them. Anyway, so I guess I'll try to read the comments on some of these message board shit. All right. Sorry, this is my, I guess this isn't going to be much of a video. I guess it's not going to be much of a, well, there's nothing to say, really. Like I said, I've already gone through, I've done different projects. Like I said, I still want to do the simple video thing, like the questionnaire, yes or no questions. Because it gets right to the point. You just ask somebody a few questions. I mean, and you can figure out whether they're capable of rational thought. And you can focus on their individual stupidity. So there's lots of things. I've worked on lots of projects. I mean, I just find this so obnoxious. These assholes who have nothing on their channels, have produced nothing, have done nothing, and they're telling me I'm not doing it good enough. I mean, fuck. Alright, whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted. Oh, I forgot to turn off the refresh. Alright, cannot be trusted with important matters. Albert Einstein. You should put the little line there. That's really a dumb Einstein quote, right? Because Einstein wasn't always Einstein. He wasn't always an Einstein. Let's put it that way, right? Einstein wasn't always an Einstein. I mean, some subjects he was kind of a stupid fucktard. And certainly in little trivial matters like combing your hair, changing your clothes, not smelling like a pig, from what I hear, he wasn't too fucking diligent. So it is kind of almost an ironic quote, because Einstein looked like the kind of guy who didn't pay attention to a motherfucking detail. Small details. Looks like he didn't pay a goddamn bit of attention to that shit. Crooked tie, who the fuck cares? I mean, he looked like the kind of guy who is just totally, like that kind of guy I have shit, falling on him from the ceiling. He was my kind of guy in that sense, right? Like, I don't give a fuck about this trivial shit. And so it is kind of funny, because in my opinion, yes, somebody who cares about small matters, can't be trusted with big matters, because their priorities are backwards. But it's about being careless, I suppose. I mean, I don't even know what careless with the truth in small matters. Careless with the truth is a sort of a different concept, but I would agree that I'm just not sure that Albert Einstein wasn't a truth manipulator, in the sense he was careless with the truth, right? He wouldn't come right out and say, I'm an atheist, so he totally pussied out on that truth. He kept, floating around the subject, throwing darts anywhere but at the word, because he just didn't want to, yes, I'm Satan. He didn't want the people calling him Satan. So, he just played a game with that truth. All right, well, I don't want to rag on Einstein, but yeah, that's not a great quote. That's not a great quote coming from any human being, because frankly, there's just no point in trying to slice and dice the little murders we commit, because we're all guilty of them. How do I post a comment on this website? That's the second time somebody's posted that. I don't know whether that's just like a joke troll thing or something, but I mean, who are the top 10 on your list of people who need to go bye-bye? You mean get run over by the deserve steamroller? Yeah, there's no point in me saying it, because that's just setting me up for trouble, right? Especially when they're in high political positions now. But yes, you can figure it out for yourself. There's probably a whole family, that's 10, just in that family alone. Anyway, then this idiot posted this. I hate this shit. These are fine. These little gifs when it's some sort of soft porn or something, it's a little bit interesting, but this is not interesting. I hate this, actually. I can't stand this, actually. It's revolting. So anyway, I dance for you, God ham. You is all-powerful and knowledgeable. Gee, isn't that, Ha 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 ha. People's sense of humor is just, nope, not even close to funny. Anyway, I was going to tell a dead baby joke just to compare what funny is compared to that shit. Anyway, oh, never mind. You must be talking about Puro and Hoth. Are you calling me retarded? What the fuck? Okay. Any possibility for some philosophical insight and not just repetitive critiques of these two retard videos? The possibility of philosophical insight. So again, I've just, I've made different channels on different subjects, gone through all the subjects. I've said almost everything that can be said on these subjects in like numerous different ways. And so what exactly do you want me to talk about? What do you think the important subject is? I'm not really interested in whatever it is, I have no doubt, but I'm just saying, what do you think is, what has been uncovered in my years of work? Alright, anyway, working link for last comment. I don't know, maybe you could help contribute to the Progressive Coalition. Well, I'm sure the Progressive Coalition is a pile of shitheads who think progress is, let's subsidize baby production. So I'm sure it's probably not something I like, and then I hate this shit. It's a channel run by a dude trying to get proactive. Oh, a dude. I find his content decent and such. Well, I'll go there, but I don't know. Wasn't that the one Puro was? Not sure. I'll have to actually go and see which one it is. Oh, it has a YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm doing the fairness first party actually. So because what I want people to understand is that we have certain minimum rights, and those have to be respected, but we don't have a right to force other people to subsidize our life, and we do have a right to preserve the value of work and to ensure that people are paid for work and that kind of stuff. And so, yes, we do have a right to tell rich people to go fuck themselves and stuff like that. But I don't see this whole mommy state bullshit is bullshit. This whole, define a job by the 400 million benefits that are actually tax evasion ploys bullshit. That's got to go. There's too many parts of the system that it's free where it should be a copay, all that kind of stuff. And poor people get away with murder, so to speak. Bonobo apes do sex all the time. Well, that's not true. They get angry to release their waste. I don't know. So obviously typed by a translator, I guess. But the whole bonobo story was revealed to be kind of bullshit. Bonobos go on genocidal, murderous raids. They kill each other. They eat babies. They do lots of the same chimpanzee behaviors. And yes, they have a lot of mock sex. I don't know if mock sex is really all that good. So anyway, I see Kitty on the outside cam. Yeah, well, that happens. The cat does live here, mostly. Okay, he who cast the first stone is fucked-headed. Is a fuckhead. Didn't God say that? Probably. Haha. He who believes there is some unspoken intent behind a sincere contribution is the true fuckhead. Unspoken intent behind a sincere contribution. I don't even know what that means exactly, but sincerity is just hard to come by because we're all, like I said, you have to. I have to constantly fight with myself about how much of this scheming thing you're allowed, the self-interested scheming thing you're allowed, because it is hard to separate things from your ego and when you're fighting for some personal interest and you're invested in some other interest and you're just associating the two things with each other, and there's just so many corruptions. But anyway, obviously that suffering sucks is just an opinion. Sure, fuckheads. Okay, so yes, suffering sucks is not just an opinion. It's a fact. Someone who takes their opinion as an absolute fact rarely can dispute their own position. So nobody's cited for this quote, but who would say something that's stupid? I don't even understand the point of the position. Some opinions you believe very strong, and some opinions you don't believe very strong. But there's no reason why, if there's a ton of evidence, you shouldn't believe. It's my opinion that O.J. Simpson absolutely, without a doubt, cut his wife's head off. There's just no doubt about it. Why should I dispute the position by making up some kind of silly story that the Invisible Man in size 14 Bruno Mali's did it? Why should I waste my time with that? I don't think there is anything wrong with having definitive confidence in a position innately. Well, you can't do it innately, so that's just silly. You do it because there's a whole pile of evidence. There's a bunch of dots. The dots make the shape of Yosemite Sam, and it's kind of unmistakable. And you say, yeah, I can do that one. They sell books that just have dots, where you get to connect them, and you can practice. You see. And that's like logic. Logic is just connecting the dots of evidence. But there's nothing innate about it. You do have to usually do some work. The problem is always dissidence when someone actually shatters your position. I don't know what the subtle implication there or some other kind of crap, but I don't see any shattering going on in any other sense than to say, well, I mean, the position that suffering doesn't matter is shattered by my personal experience. The evidence is so screamingly loud in my own brain, and there's absolutely no way I can imagine that, no, suffering's really fun. That statement can't possibly add up to 4, so to speak. You know, there's no arrangement of the numbers that could ever make that statement anything else but absolute nonsense. It's, you know, pie, sausage, sandwich, banana cream pie squared. It just can't possibly be mathematically correct. Alright. Man, those snowstorms you have there in USA, pretty scary. Well, not all of the USA has them. And they're not nearly as scary as the ones in, like, Canada and stuff. So, you don't get around much, do you? You don't really understand much about weather. Huh? Anyway, Antarctica has amazing snowstorms. Someone who takes their opinion as absolute fact rarely can dispute their own position. I already did that. How do I get back to that one? Oh, somebody was quoting that. Oh, I get it now. So the other guy was quoting this idiot. Oh, okay. What kind of gestures your camera programmed for? I'm looking for a cam like that. So it's not a camera, it's a tablet. And I don't know. I didn't program it for gestures. I don't want it to have a gesture. I don't want it to do what I don't want it to take a picture when I go like this. I don't want it to do that. Yeah. No. Alright, so I don't know, there's some statue of something. I'm not going to bother looking at that. Some JPEG somebody thinks is interesting. Sometimes it is the simplest thing, most insane, most practical stuff that matters the most to someone. Patty Duke. That's good. For a Patty Duke quote, that's pretty good. I guess I ought to go look up, you know, Mr. Ed quotes someday too. He was pretty smart. What do you think of modern monetary theory? Oh, so it's a link to a video. I guess I should do something with that. Well, obviously the modern monetary theory is ludicrous, which is cover up all the losses. If you don't allow anybody to, this is really their theory. If you don't allow anybody to go bankrupt, then nobody else goes bankrupt. See, because bankruptcy is like a contagion. It's like a virus. There's when one person goes bankrupt, then all the creditors go bankrupt, and all the blah blah, you know, and it just cycles. So bankruptcy is the thing to avoid. So that's what they sort of figured out here, is that so all the bad stock, all the junk bonds that go bad, all the junk stock that goes bad, they cover it all up. So that's what they did. They took all the bad mortgages and all that bad shit, and they FDIC insured it, and then put it back on the stock market as stocks. But they're guaranteed stocks, you see. See, the stock, you can buy the stock and you can't lose your money, because at any time you can resell the stock back to the government. So if the stock actually does go up, which will be impossible because it's dead, but they'll pay 2% on it anyway, so you get a CD return. And there is some chance that there might be a piece of gold in the junk. So every now, so it's like gambling. Like it's like picking up a little duck and you win a car, or you pick up a duck and you get a coupon for 50 cents off, you know, hemorrhoid cream. See, so there's a chance you'll win the car. So people buy the stock because they say, well, there's a chance it might make me millions of dollars. So, and they don't lose any money, right? They keep up with inflation. So it's a way to guarantee your investment. You're guaranteed to get your money back anytime you want it, and you might win. So, that's basically the modern economy. Hide all the losses. It's really Trumpism. You know, just pretend you're all rich when you're not. Okay, because if we all pretend, we can keep pretending. So as long as you don't make anybody responsible ever, then you can just maintain this bullshit. And obviously this isn't going to work though. Eventually they'll already FDIC insured. Like, say if something really does happen, there's a crisis, the insurance is going to run out in 43 seconds, and there'll be no money in the insurance fund, and there'll be no way to pay the Social Security the checks. There'll be no way to finance the government, so they'll have to start printing cash, and it'll just be Germany, you know, World War I Germany all over again. Okay, except for the words that describe that which you said. Yeah, okay, buddy, keep quoting insane things. Alright, so this guy who was posting a lot of quotes here, apparently. Words are but symbols for the relations of things to one another and to us. Well, but symbols. I mean, you know, it's kind of a significant thing. Words are a rather significant thing in the sense that we can take something that is and transfer it into 4 letters or 5 letters or whatever. That's kind of amazing. You can take something that is car and you can convert it in just 3 little stinking letters and then move it around. That's an amazing thing. So it's not just, it's pretty impressive. Nowhere do they touch upon absolute truth. Oh, Nietzsche. So Friedrich Nietzsche. What an idiot. So, I mean, obviously, just as images and even, what's the word, abstract images can say more. They can say more about a subject than the actual subject being right in front of you. The anatomy, a picture of human anatomy can tell you a lot about what a human is, more than you might learn by talking to a human. Okay. Good evening, Gary and all. From whoever. Hi, whoever. I don't think that being naked in winter can help you to not get cold flu. See, this must be foreigners. So he's apparently, maybe he's a Chinese guy, and he thinks you get, yin-yang thing or something. He thinks your colds are caused by cold. It doesn't really work that way. You get viruses and microbes that infect you from other people. And there is some risk that you can lower your resistance, okay, by being cold. But frankly, there still isn't any real hard evidence that that's even true. I don't have anything to say. Well, I guess what I'm saying, oh, so the other guy did have something to say, is that you're going to need a lot more to convince me or others that physics is wrong, when so much of it is slowly applicable, especially quantum mechanics. So this is a guy who thinks quantum computers are going to happen tomorrow, and I think he actually thinks there's a working one now at like IBM or something. And I'm sure it's a nano computer. They're going to be... Qubits are retarded. They're retarded. The whole concept that computers need to be super to do something is idiotic. We've already figured out sort of how to multi-processor and to apply a project over multiple processors. So in a sense, you can just pile up stack up the chips and make a supercomputer. This quantum crap will not fix any supercomputing problem. It's just, there's no shortcut to answers. See, these quantum idiots think they can jump to the answer. Like they think that the answer's on the other side of the atom. Like, ooh, the answer's over there. And to get to the answer, I have to do 2 plus 2. And I don't want to do all that stuff. I just want to jump to the answer. And they think they can jump into the future and get the answer, and they don't have to do the problem. These are idiots. Alright. As much as I respect the philosophical arguments you propose, I don't think you're on the right side of physics. Well, why should I care what you think? You don't qualify yourself at all. I mean, you don't have anything to go based on. You don't think. Why should I care what you think, fuckhead? I mean, I don't know much, so and then you're conceding you don't know much. I mean, I don't know much, so I'm not going to say definitely that you're wrong. But I've seen reported strides of quantum computing, which is also in part based on principles you say are impossible. You're saying it's in part based on principles that frankly, and you say you don't know much. So how do you know? How do you know what it's based on? Huh? Oh, that's right. You don't know. So anyway, this is the idiot who posted this bullshit article in Nature. Just an absolute fluff piece. Alright, so this is probably enough. I'll do one more. The man of knowledge must be able not only to love his enemies, but also hate his friends. Oh, that's another Nietzsche quote. So why would you hate your friends? I mean, frankly, that doesn't make much sense, right? I mean, you really want to have friends that aren't hateable. I mean, you know, not hateable. I mean, a hateable friend, you know, that's just not going to work. So that doesn't make much sense. You know, no, doesn't make any sense. Well, nothing Nietzsche. Nietzsche was an idiot. I just can't believe people. This poetic, mushy, nothing philosophy. And all he was a truther. That's all Nietzsche was. He naysayed and nitpicked everyone else's life. It's like that other asshole telling me how to do my life. And yet he didn't do anything. Nietzsche accomplished nothing. He did nothing. He just told everybody else how they suck. That's it. I mean, it's the weakest of human characters. And he talked of all this big talk about be the man, be the mega man. Where was he any of these things? Where did he demonstrate any exemplary accomplishment? He didn't. He was a failure in his life, and he spent the last 10 years of his life being a corpse on display. I mean, he didn't even have enough of his own family didn't have enough respect for him not to turn him into a cartoon. God, anyway. So that was the snowstorm. Yeah, I thought the balloon was a nice. Worked out really quite well. It was really quite funny because the wind was really windy. It was blowing all over the place, so it was kind of neat. But the funny thing that happened was the old cat couldn't have given a shit. Okay, it said balloon's balloon. I don't care. But the other cat, Maui Face, went insane. I call him Maui Magoo now. Yeah, because he's like Mr. Magoo. Because he just keeps banging into things. Well, anyway, he hated it. Well, anyway, so I came out the door, and there was something with the food dish or something else. Well, anyway, and the cat went nuts, and he ran right into the string on the balloon. So the balloon floated off, never to be seen again. So I don't know where Happy is. I'm Happy. Remember me? I'm going to make a video someday. But not today. Someday. Yeah, I like that. Happy was a good character. I miss Happy. I miss Ed. Yeah, I haven't done Ed in a long time. Anyway, so I guess that's enough, right? I've been jabbering on for a while. And there was nothing outstanding. I will mention that the old fan is going to have a challenging, I don't know what day it is, but the 29th, 3 days from now, somewhere around there, I think, is doing her show, live performance thing, so wishing luck is kind of a waste of time, right? But you could do that anyway. Or, hope that she falls down and breaks her leg. Apparently that works. So wish her disaster, and that way everything will work out fine. Yeah, because obviously none of our wishes come true. Yeah. It's funny that these are, it's like these cliches. Some of them are very dark, and they're kind of concessions about how miserable life really is. That it really is better to wish somebody harm because your wishes are that useless. It's like there's not that there's no chance they'll have any effect. It's almost like it truly is true that as soon as you wish for something, you just set yourself up for disaster. And yet people keep saying, yeah, just keep supporting the Borg, keep fighting for the machine, and that's how dismal it is that we're not even allowed to honestly wish for something because that's just going to get you in trouble. Yeah, amazing. Okay, anyway, life just is so fucking stupid. Yeah, now that's enough, I think, and such and so forth and whatnot. Change that. Well, I can do all. Well, frankly, I could, because it's not going to be on YouTube. But we won't do that. Anyway, so yeah, till the next time and such and so forth and whatnot. I really think I'm I really don't think there was anything else in news or merit. I don't, I haven't been watching much. I mean, I've just been watching. I watch a lot of, I still watch technical physics kind of videos. I mean, I do like doing that. The ones that don't totally irritate me. But, I can't, it's amazing how hard it is to watch Piro's videos because he's such a liar. Oh, I hate liars. He's such a fucking liar. Anyway, so till next time, and such.